Hey guys, it's Mr. Johnson here, and this is your 13 county map quiz review video. What I've done is pretty much the maps that we went over in class on Thursday. I'm going to put these back up here in the video, and that way you guys can go and do this as many times as you want. The quiz is still on Tuesday, so we want to make sure that you're as prepared as possible for the quiz. So we'll get some practice going through these different map quizzes. My advice to you is I'll kind of read the instructions to you, and then what I would do is just press pause, and so that your screen is showing the map, and then when you're ready and you're done, you can then press play and listen to me go through the answers. So I'm pretty much going to give you the directions, pause for a couple of seconds, and then I'm immediately going to start giving you answers. So like I said, I would pause. When I'm telling you to pause, just press pause on your video player and then take the quiz, and then obviously press play again and go from there, and you can listen to the announcements. So first thing is you got to have a scrap sheet of paper. Have that sheet of paper around you. You will need that. And once you have a scrap sheet of paper to do the quiz, again, it probably looks pretty similar to what we did in class. This was the first map that we did. So number your paper 1 through 23. And when you number your paper, this might be a good time to press pause. Hopefully you have already numbered your paper, and if you did, 1 through 13 of your answers, those are going to be the numbers that are related to the counties that we learned about. 14 and 15 are the two areas that we learned about in class. Here they are right here. 16, 17, 18, and 19 will relate to information that happened and where those boxes are pointing to. And then number 20 down here, if you have a separate question, you can write down 21, 22, and 23 are the cities that are listed in red right here. So go ahead and take a couple of minutes to take this first quiz. You can press pause when you're ready. And after you press pause, I will, and you're ready to come back, press play, and I will start to give you the answer. So go ahead and press pause now if you haven't already. Take the quiz. All right, as hopefully you've come back, press play, you're back in, and you've taken the quiz. Let me go through the answers quickly with you. And what I would do, there's no real reason to write. Let me take that back. I suppose you could write your answers down. Let's say you missed number 2. Go ahead and write that county name down. That way you can go back and look at this map and just double check, your answers. So it's up to you if you want to correct them. But I would add up how many you got out of 23, and so hopefully you start to get a good idea as to what ones that you're missing consistently, and those will be the ones that you need to study. So if you're getting the Carolinas and Georgia correct every time, then obviously I wouldn't spend a lot of time focusing on that when you study for the map quiz. So answer number 1 was right here, and that's the county of Georgia. Answer number 2 is the county of South Carolina. Answer number 3 is the county of North Carolina. Right above it, answer number 4 is Virginia. Right above that, answer number 5 is Pennsylvania. Go down below Pennsylvania, you'll see right there, that is Maryland, that number 6 is on. Number 7 is pointing towards Delaware. Number 8 pointing towards New Jersey. And number 9 is New York. Number 10, the small little county right here, Rhode Island. Number 11 is the arrow pointing to Connecticut. Number 12 is New Hampshire. 13 down below it is Massachusetts. 14, if you can find 14 down here, that is the area of Spanish Florida, area owned by Spain. 15 is New France. 16, you should have written something down about how this was pointing to the lost county of Roanoke, England's first attempt at a colony. 17 would be pointing towards Jamestown, the first permanent, long-lasting English settlement in the New World. 18 is pointing to where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth. And 19 is pointing to where the Puritans landed at Boston. 20, if you go down below, 20 says to name a middle colony. You could have named any of the 4, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Delaware. New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Delaware. Those are your 4 middle colonies. 21 is the arrow in red pointing to the city known as New York City. played an important role during the colonies. 22 is pointing towards Philadelphia, another major city during the era of the colonies. And at the end, I'll give you a chance to kind of go through the spelling real quickly. 23 is pointing towards Charleston, South Carolina, one of the major ports, cotton and tobacco shipping ports in the South. So go ahead and add your numbers up. How many you got correct out of 23? And give yourself a grade on that. And again, try to start realizing what seem to be the ones that you're consistently missing. Think back to class on Thursday when we took some of these review quizzes. And then now that you've taken one again, what are the ones that you're missing most often? And those will be the ones that I would ask for you to prepare for. Those are the ones you should really start to focus on when you study. So that was quiz number 1. Go ahead and grab, you flip your sheet of paper over or find a different spot. We're going to move on to the second quiz. You can number your paper again 1 through 23, and now is a good time to press pause so that you can number your paper. Okay, now that you're back, hopefully you've numbered your paper at this point, and I will just quickly go through the instructions. 1 and 2 are the areas. 3 through 6 are colonies up here. 7 through 10 are the boxes and what they're pointing to. 11 through 19 are more colonies going down south here. And 21, 22, and 23 are in blue, and those are the cities that we talked about in class. So go ahead now and press pause and answer numbers 1 through 23. Okay, hopefully you're back now and you've taken the second quiz. I'll quickly go through the answers. Number 1 is the area of New France, area owned by France. 2 is Spanish Florida. 3 up top here is New Hampshire. 4 is Massachusetts. 5 is Rhode Island. 6 is pointing towards Connecticut. Box number 7 up here at the top was pointing towards where the Puritans landed in Boston. 8 is pointing towards where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock in the early 1600s, 1620, 1619. Number 9 is pointing towards, of course, the first permanent English settlement in the New World, which was Jamestown. And then 10 is pointing towards Roanoke, the lost colony of Roanoke in North Carolina, the Outer Banks of North Carolina here. 11 is New York. 12 is the colony of New Jersey. 13 right here is Pennsylvania. 14 is Delaware. 15 is Massachusetts. 16 Virginia. 17 is North Carolina. 18 is South Carolina. 19 is Georgia. And 20 asks you to name a southern county. You can name any of the 5 southern counties: Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, or Georgia. 21 is a city pointing towards Charleston. 22 is a city, an arrow that's pointing towards New York City. And then finally 23 is pointing towards Philadelphia. Good time to spell Philadelphia out, because remember, spelling, if you can get perfect spelling on your map quiz, you can get extra credit. Philadelphia is spelled P-H-I-L-A-D-E-L-P-H-I-A. Philadelphia. So add up again how many you got out of correct you got out of 23, and hopefully by now you're starting to see a trend here. Hopefully you're improving, but also seeing the ones that you're, like I said earlier, consistently getting incorrect. And when we're done with this, those are the ones that you should study. So go ahead now and find a new side. We'll do the last quiz here. We'll mix up the numbers again and find a spot on your paper where you can number it 1 through 23, and then go ahead and press pause until you're done doing that. Okay, you're back now for the third and final of the map quizzes. I'll go through the directions. You've done this enough now to know what's going on here. 1 through 4 are the boxes right here. 5 through 17 are in green here, and they are colonies. 18 and 19 are the 2 areas we've learned about that were owned by someone other than England. 21, 22, and 23 are cities that the black arrows are pointing towards. Let's go ahead and press pause now and take your quiz. All right, hopefully you're back now. I'll go through the answers, starting with number 1. That is pointing towards where the Puritans landed at Boston. Box number 2 is pointing to where the Puritans landed, or excuse me, the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock. Box number 3 is pointing towards Jamestown, first permanent English settlement in the New World. Box number 4 is pointing towards Roanoke, the lost county of Roanoke. County number 5 right here is Virginia. County number 6 down below here is Georgia. 7 is South Carolina. 8 is New York, so these numbers are kind of jumping around a little bit. 9 is Pennsylvania. 10 is New Jersey. 11 up top here is New Hampshire. 12 is Massachusetts. Good time to spell this out. Massachusetts. That's Massachusetts. 13 is Connecticut. Connecticut. 14 is Rhode Island. Rhode space Island. 15 down below, North Carolina. 16 here is pointing towards Delaware. 17 is pointing towards Maryland. 18 is the area of New France. 19 down here is Spanish Florida. 20, name a New England county. You can name any of the New England counties, which are Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, or New Hampshire. Any one of those 4 would have worked. 21 was pointing towards New York City. 22 pointing towards Philadelphia. And 23 pointing towards Charleston. Charleston is spelled Charleston. So either, what I would do again is go through and grade how many you got correct out of 23. And again, hopefully by now you realized which are the ones that you are consistently or over and over missing. And those are the ones that I would focus on when you prepare for the map quiz on Tuesday. Keep in mind that if you know a lot of the counties, New York and Pennsylvania, are very easy to you. New France, New Spain, I would not spend a lot of time. It's the ones that you need to know the difference of. Usually are these small cluster of counties up there towards the top part of your map. So that's all for now. Thanks for listening, and hopefully this helped you get a little bit more prepared for the quiz. And we will see you back in school on Monday and ready for the quiz on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.